What is up, everyone? Welcome to another video. Today we're going to be checking out this Ducati Monster 796. Now, this Ducati Monster is known as one of the more beginner-friendly Ducatis, but that doesn't mean that it's not powerful or light or incredibly fun. This Monster puts down right around 80 horsepower and weighs in just over 400 pounds. And this bike puts the power to the ground through a 6-speed wet clutch transmission down to its single-sided swing arm. And this particular example is equipped with a Competition Works exhaust, which sounds absolutely incredible. Brembo reigns supreme in the world of Ducati brakes. You have Brembo's front and rear controlling your braking. We're gonna go ahead and start it up, take a listen to this exhaust, and then comes my favorite part of the video where I get to take this on a ride and tell you what I think. Let's gear up and let's take this thing for a ride. Don't forget, everyone, once we hit 500 subscribers, I am giving away a Voss helmet of your choice. Yes, that does include the full carbon helmets. They are sick, they are comfortable. Make sure to subscribe, follow along, and we'll be having a lot more details coming soon as we are over halfway to our goal now, and it's only been a couple weeks. So it will be happening soon. So keep your eyes out for more information on that giveaway. So let's take a second and let's talk about the Ducati Monster 796. So, of all the bikes that I've had, I've ridden this one probably more than any of the other bikes that I've had. And the reason why is probably because of a few things. So I am no expert seasoned rider by any means. I've been riding for the last maybe year and a half maybe. I have always been big into cars and motorcycles like pretty much my whole life, but I didn't grow up riding or anything like that. So now that I'm an adult and can do whatever I want, I decided to pursue motorcycles and cars, and that's been my whole life, is making deals, working with people, and just enjoying car and now motorcycle culture as well. So there's a few things that I really like about this bike, being that I'm a little bit more of a beginner. This to me is probably, if you're new to, maybe have had some experience on motorcycles but are new to Ducati as a brand, I would say this would be the perfect first Ducati to have. You get to experience the low-end torque that these bikes are known for. That L-twin is really known for how it puts down torque really low in the RPM range compared to your Japanese bikes. But it's not too much power where it's gonna, you're trying to hold wheelies down, or, it's gonna be uncomfortably fast. light. They're really lightweight, they're really nimble, and for me, at least as to what I've seen, they're pretty forgiving. This bike, it does have a wet clutch, so it's not, you're not having to worry about maybe some of the difficulties that can come on a dry clutch if you're not as experienced. So they're pretty forgiving, they're pretty smooth, but they're still absolute performance machines. And if I were to daily ride something, you know, in town or even, you know, relatively longer distances, I've taken this out on the highway, and it's smooth, it's comfortable, but you have plenty of get up and go. Should you need, we'll call it, you have plenty of passing power. So it's a super fun ride. And I'll tell you, the Competition Works exhaust that this thing has on it sounds menacing. That's the only way that I know how to put it. It gives you this low rumble that just it shakes you to the core. It sounds so good. I've honestly considered this for a first track day just because of how forgiving it feels. It still has a decent amount of power. You know, I put, we have fresh tires on this. I'll say I won't take this bike, but I want to take, I'm really considering the 796 platform as something to do that first track day on. What do you think? What's a good first track day Ducati or first track bike that you think would be good for someone like me as a first track day? We're just gonna weasel on up here. We gotta be one of my favorite things about being on a motorcycle is being able to just sneak up here and get out of traffic. So I love that. This particular 796, it just feels right. Like everything about this for someone that's getting into motorcycles, getting into Ducati, or even someone that's a little more experienced and really wants to have a bike that they can really probably push like 100%, this is probably that bike. Like I know there's a lot of like the super sports, the 1098s, the 1199, the, you know, once you get into those really big motor super bike, you know, territory, at least for me, I think that'd be pretty hard to push, you know, like 100%, except on like rarer occasions. This bike you can really push more often, and it'll take it, and it'll just absolutely love the ride with you. Sounds so good. And I love how smooth this thing pulls. Like, this is such a fun bike, man. And I'm selling it. Oh, I gotta get one of these for me to keep. It's not like break your back stiff. It's still stiff and it feels sporty, but it's not like super uncomfortable. The riding positions kind of in between that straight up and down and, you know, full tuck all the time. So your riding position is really comfortable. I don't have any complaints about this bike. Honestly, I'm just having a good time right now. Normally I'm like, you know, I feel like when I go out I'm talking about like the specs and stuff like that. I'm honestly just having a good freaking time on this bike right now. So who do I think the right buyer for this bike is? Well, my first thought is anyone that wants to enjoy life and have a good time. That's my first thought. Second thought, which is maybe a little more gripped in the specs and the actual bike itself. I think a really good owner for this bike is one that wants to get into Ducatis and wants to, you know, kind of tip their toes in before they jump into a super bike or jump into, you know, like a Panigale V2 or something like that, and they want to experience a little bit more about Ducati first before they jump into something like that. This is a bike that I'm like, man, I could ride this all the time and really get good at riding on this bike. Because of how smooth it is. It has a great power delivery that's not overwhelming. Oh no, there's a cup up here. I gotta be on my best behavior. Why did I sit up straight? Like, that's gonna make me look less menacing. And why are we all stopped? What the frick is happening right now? No one has a stop sign. Holy cow. Anyways, I'm about getting up to the old chiropractor's office. Shout out J-Mac Chiropractic, Queen Creek, Arizona, taking care of us. So I'm going to sign off for the riding section. Then I'll get back and talk about the bike. Holy cow, this is honestly one of my favorites. Just because it's like right in my level of what I can push. And it just always puts a smile on my face. And that exhaust just sounds so freaking good. Alrighty. Well, I will see you guys back in the office. Alrighty, we made it back from the ride. I love the Monster 796, and here's why. It's light enough of a bike that it's really easy, flickable, maneuverable. It feels comfortable. It's not overpowered, where if you're a little bit newer to bikes or maybe newer to the Ducati brand, it's not gonna feel overwhelming. Those are the two biggest reasons that I feel like this is the Ducati that everyone needs to ride at least once. Let me know what you think. Have you ridden one of these bikes before? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know down in the comments, and until next time, everybody, cheers.